Well, good morning, my friends. What is up? It is your friend and pal Seth. My pronouns are he and they. I want to welcome you into your morning inspiration, your morning inspiration video for the day. It is day number 166, y'all. In addition to that, it is also Monday. It is Monday, y'all. All right. And what do I call Mondays? We call Mondays around here Mindset and Motivation Monday. So I will ask you, what mindset are you going to cultivate for today? And how are you going to stay motivated? This is the first week of a new month. It is the first full week of November. How are we going to start November off with a bang? Okay, and a big bang. Okay. So, as my question for you today, I'll leave you to ponder that. All right. So, for today, what I thought I would do is kind of like last Monday. What I'm doing is today is called a weekly recap time. So those of you that have, seen a lot of these morning inspiration videos, you know that I am part of an incredible community of practice and everything. So what I want to do is kind of give a little bit of a recap of what we did last week inside of our community of practice. And y'all, we had an incredible week last week. It was powerful. It was emotional. It was amazing. It was fantastic and fabulous. Okay. It was incredible. So I just want to kind of run down kind of what we did last week. Excuse me. And some of the amazing like eureka moments and everything and some things that were shared. So it's maybe a little bit of a longer video in a sense. But you know what? It's going to be meaty. It's going to be powerful. All right. So, as you know, inside of our community practice, we have these songs. I call them songs for inspiration or songs for inspiration. And literally, our first song last Monday, excuse me, and inspired a discussion about, quote, the hiccups that we have in life and kind of how to own them. Things that maybe we feel or others may feel are a hindrance to us in order to kind of keep us moving forward or keep us in that success mindset. It's Mindset Monday, right? And keep us kind of going and moving forward and everything. And interestingly enough, the song, it's in Hindi. It's from an amazing Bollywood movie called Hichki, which literally means hiccup in Hindi. And everything. And we listened to an amazing song actually from the movie. And this led to an incredibly powerful discussion about, as I said, the hiccups that we have in life, how to own them. But it also really led to an amazing quote and something amazing that one of our participants said. And I wanted to share this with you because I almost got emotional. And y'all know me, I get emotional. I get in my feelings a lot. And my emotions. And this participant said, just show up and walk in your boldness. Okay, I don't know about you all. That does something to me right there. Okay, emotion wise. Okay, just show up and walk in your boldness. How powerful is that? All right. I found that just to be incredibly powerful. All right, right there. So that was one of the things that we talked about. Now, the next day, our first song for inspiration was I Love Me by Demi Lovato. Y'all, this song inspired a huge discussion around embracing every part of ourselves and how difficult that can be and how listening to ourselves as well can also be truly powerful. All right. The discussion that was had was incredible, from one participant to the other and everything. And it was just an amazing and meaty discussion and everything. And in addition to that kind of led into a discussion kind of about comparing ourselves to others. A lot of the slides that I had for that day were talking about kind of comparing ourselves to others and how that can be, let's just say, detrimental to our wellness, but how we can also kind of use that as motivation to kind of keep ourselves moving forward and everything. And I showed a video actually that I had done about 2 years ago, kind of about comparing myself when I had started comparing myself to a lot of the other people that I was going to be doing a workshop with. or at an event and everything. And kind of how focusing on our own accomplishments and what we have accomplished and everything, it can really, really help when it comes to kind of comparing ourselves to others and everything. And that discussion that we had about embracing every part of ourselves, how difficult that can be and everything, and by listening to ourselves as well. So y'all, woo, it was amazing. So and the next day, we were really talking about the power of chosen family. This was Wednesday, and Wednesday we have our Affirming Rainbow Peers Circle. All right, we were talking about the power of literally having a chosen family and how powerful that can be. And I know for me, I really, really resonate with it. And everything, being able to look at and choose who I have around me and inside of my support system and inside my support circle is really, really powerful and everything. So we were really talking about the power of a chosen family. You know, we listened to a song called Chosen Family. Interestingly enough, that was one of our first songs that we listened to that morning. But in addition to that, I brought back, if you've been watching these videos for an amount of time, you know that some months ago, what we were looking at was what are called daily affirmation cards and everything, and looking at daily affirmations and affirmations that we can use on a daily basis. So what I decided to do is I decided to kind of bring that back inside of the groups. And again, these were always inspired by my amazing and incredible mentor and friend, Angus, and everything. So we started to kind of begin an affirmation practice, you know, with the cards that were introduced, as I said, by my amazing mentor, Angus. So we decided to kind of bring those back into the programs and everything. And y'all, the affirmations that we got from last week are incredible. And I just want to share some of them with you. So I am aware. I am non-judgmental and compassionate with all people. I am wellness. I am here. I am human. Can you tell we all got really deep last week? Okay, it was amazing. Okay, we're ultimately going to do is kind of build out our own kind of these amazing kind of affirmations. And again, we're in November. So in November, we have American Thanksgiving. Okay, which is at the end of this month and everything. As it is November, it's November. What's today? November 3rd. There we go. Ooh. It's November 3rd today, and everything. So I thought, you know, to kind of create this incredible affirmation practice, and we're going to have, you know, affirmations that I'm going to add to a wheel. I talked last week about, you know, the wheel of names and everything, and what a powerful resource that is for our wellness. And again, I learned about the power of names from my mentor and amazing friend, Angus. And they had introduced that into our community and everything. And everything. So we're going to, you know, add a lot of these affirmations and everything to the wheel and spin the wheel and everything. We'll have some amazing affirmations at the end of November, y'all. Okay, we're going to have a big wheel of affirmations at the end of November. So I'm really, really looking forward to that, kind of bringing that, you know, into, you know, and as we kind of, you know, close out the year. And again, a lot of these ideas always inspired by Angus. All right. So another thing we talked about last week was the attitude of gratitude. Hey, Thursday, y'all. Okay, love it, love it. And you know, Thursday, I call Thursdays Thankful Thursdays. So we're really talking about the attitude of gratitude and how cultivating gratitude can really, really help all of us inside of our wellness. And one of our participants added in kind of their own quote and everything. They had said something inside of the group that I really wanted to capture because I thought it was really beautiful. And this person said, "I'm grateful for all of you. You all are a blessing." Ooh, again, getting in my emotions, getting in my feels. All right. So again, something that was really, really powerful as well. So in addition to that, we were talking about kind of this idea of kind of finding hope in those hopeless times and everything. And I think that's also something that's really, really powerful. And I think really important, you know, because I think we all go through, and I can also definitely relate to this, you know, we all go through those very difficult moments and everything, where we feel like there's just no hope, there's no motivation to move forward, there's nothing. And I can always really relate to that, you know? So it's really about kind of what are the things that we do and can do in order to kind of help us push through those emotions and those thoughts and those feelings and all that, in order to kind of help us to move forward. Um, so that's another thing we were talking about last week, which was woof, increíble. Okay, incredible. All right. So another thing we were kind of talking about last week was kind of this idea of coping with emotions in many different ways, and also this theme of what I call the RA thing, or radical acceptance. Now, we're able to kind of cope with our emotions and thoughts and everything in different ways. We're all human, and we all have our kind of individualized, what helps us. It's always important to ask ourselves what is going to help us in any given moment. And that comes from the power of like really knowing ourselves and knowing what works. All right. So it's something that really, really helps. And it's something that's definitely really, really helped me. But one of the ways actually I had, talked about, with coping with emotions and everything, there are also ways that we cope with our emotions in, let's just say, silly ways or in comedy ways. And there are a few like movies and TV shows out there that have shown individuals coping in very interesting ways with their emotions. For an example, the movie Anger Management, if you all have not seen it, it's Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson and Marissa Tomei and some other amazing, amazing actors. It's an amazing movie, and they're literally, sitting on a bridge, in New York. Yeah, I believe it's in New York. And there's a lot of traffic around them. And Jack Nicholson's character has him pull the car over, and pretty much he said, "You're feeling flustered." He said, "I'm feeling flustered. I need to get to work." He's like, "Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to sing." And that launched into a version of Adam Sandler singing "I Feel Pretty," which from West Side Story, which was fabulous, fantastic, comedic, funny, but also powerful in a way. Okay? So our second song for inspiration for that day in that group last Friday was "I Feel Pretty." Okay? Which led to us all listening to "I Feel Pretty" from the actual musical. But we also watched that scene too. So it is amazing. We can cope with our emotions in so many different ways. They can be funny, they can be whatever. Okay, but that just really speaks to the power of that. I really use music, and as I kind of relayed, music was a really, really big thing, that really sparked a lot of amazing conversations last week in last week's program. So what I'm hoping is that it will do the same this week and everything when it comes to music, when it comes to anything. All right. So I will also now leave you with, from the Wellness and Life Advice document by Will and Jen, under the heading of 23 eye-opening philosophies that can transform your life. The advice for today is restart, reset, readjust as many times as needed. Y'all, we are on an incredible journey through life. Okay, every single one of us. So it's okay if we need to restart. It's okay if we need to reset. It's okay if we need to readjust. Okay, and we're at the beginning of a new month. This is something I was actually thinking about earlier this morning. We're in the beginning of a new month. So, we can look at kind of, I was looking at kind of things that I did in October and saying, okay, I know that there are some things that I definitely want to do differently and everything. So what I did was I just kind of readjusted, and kind of reset my goals, took a harder look at a lot of my goals and everything that I have for this month. Okay. And I think that's also something that's really, really powerful and can really help all of us. All right. So, y'all, it was a very, very powerful week. And as I said, we're going into a brand new week and everything. The actual first week of November inside our community practice, it's going to be just as powerful. All right. So if you're able to join us, we have a group this morning. If you turn your attention and ticker down in the bottom, this morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you would like to join us, you don't have the Zoom link, let me know down in the comments below, or let me know on social media. Get with me on social media. All right, y'all. So That will about do it for your morning inspiration, your morning inspiration video. I will say, don't quit before that miracle happens, my babies. Find ways to keep moving forward because you're amazing. You're worth it. Let's join hands, do this together. Okay. In addition to that, I will also say, stay positive, stay motivated, stay focused on your amazing, huge, big dreams and goals, my friends. All right. Thank you so much for watching your morning inspiration, your morning inspiration video for the day. And I will see you. Hey, cutie. Happy Monday, you little cutie. How you doing this morning? You doing good? All right, good. So I will see you, you little cutie, in the morning inspiration video for tomorrow.